Monty, good morning. What's happening out there? What's going on? What's up, YouTube? What's up, world? What's up, y'all in the chat? Oh, shit. Everyone's in the chat. Good morning, yo. Welcome. Welcome to this fine Wednesday morning edition of GM Hannas. That's me. What's up? Nikki Hannas. Good morning. That's what GM was supposed to mean. Although when I plug my shit into AI, I like using AI as a consultation, so to speak, because it's fucking very useful. Self-indulgent, of course, but market research and shit. I plugged this shit into AI one time and it's like growth mindset. And you know what? I like that. Welcome to growth mindset. Be honest. Playing the YouTube game a little more. Good morning, growth mindset. Be honest. That's me, Nikki Be honest on YouTube. BS with Be honest. Bullshitting, aka good morning. What's up, everybody? The whole premise of this show: I'll wake up and I'll take a nice walk, read some good stuff. He says, "Gay." Hey man, I'm just fucking reporting the facts, dude. Just reporting the facts, Jerome. Morning to you, sir. Is the spiral starting early? It might be. That's all right. I welcome it. The whole premise of this show: I'll wake up, take a nice walk, read some good stuff, fucking talk to the people. Done talking to the people. I'm gonna go lift some weights, go to work, go about my business. Yeah, you already know what it is. Welcome to it. What the fuck am I thinking about today, dude? Started a new book. I've been on a American Revolution, reading books about the Revolutionary War and the colonial era, all those things that started this trajectory to bring us where we're at, because it's all fucked up right now. My man Jerome, you were texting me the other day about all this stuff. You don't like stoicism. You said stoicism is lame and dumb. I get it. I get it. But it's just one of the great long standing traditions I think we should pull from. They're all worth studying. I think, at least. If we're going to judge the outside world and analyze things, we should do it with every means available to us. That's my opinion, at least. Some are obviously more useful than others. Some of them are very self-defeating and circular and lack depth. There's a certain depth that I believe Stoicism does lack, because you can summarize it really quick. You can summarize it very quick. Here's the summary: control what you can control. That's it. That's it. You were texting me saying it lends itself to like a black pill kind of approach. That's its own discussion. But that turns into a million other things. That turns into what do we blame? Is there a single sole force or attribute to blame for the current state of things? There's definitely not. There's a million reasons why things are how the fuck they are. He said 1776 by David McCullough. I got that one. I haven't read it yet. It's on my list, my never-ending fucking list of books to read, which is a great problem to have, including a couple of those David McCullough books. He's a big dog in the game, as far as I can tell. Now, the one I just started reading is it's called The Radicalism of the American Revolution by Gordon S. Wood. The Radicalism of the American Revolution. And I wasn't sure what to expect. I'm finding that as someone who's not super well read, particularly in history, and now I'm just like in a self-induced semester about it. He mixed. What's up, dog? I've been watching Gullah Gullah Island per my recommendation. Nice, dude. You got to report back. Let me know what you got out of the Gullah Gullah Island. I ain't seen that shit since I was like 6 years old. But anyway, as I'm reading all this shit about the motherfucking American Revolution, I'll open a book and I'll think that I know where it's going. And it's always just completely not. There's a lot of turns and twists. And I've been really enjoying it, man. I've been really enjoying just, all right, let's pick this one up. Let's pick this one up. See where it goes. This one in particular, it starts, I'm thinking it's the radicalism of the revolution. I'm thinking it's going to be rah, rah, fuck the king, fuck the standbacks, fuck you, King George. Nah, it's starting with this massive, I'm like, I'm not massive. I'm 50 pages in or something. But it's more of a description of the culture of the time, things that we don't really understand, mostly pertaining to, everyone talks about hierarchy on the internet. It's a hierarchical system. Jordan Peterson made this shit very popular, definitely introduced me to a big emphasis on that. But what we don't really have here, the dichotomy of a horizontal, I'm sorry, that's fucking vertical, like a vertical structuring of society versus a horizontal one, which was like what he's saying the most radical element of the American Revolution, shifting it. And I found that fascinating. We all know about classes and caste systems and social status and elevating one's status and so on and so forth. Back in the day, evidently almost impossible to do that. You had the gentleman class, you had the aristocracy, tiers of it, the king being at the top and then appointed positions, this and that. I never really considered it too much, but it makes a lot of sense. And you still see it all over the place now. But to me, it's very fascinating reading it from like a historian, some accredited, legitimate author talking about this kind of stuff. You think about the elites, the ivory tower, the academics, this particular group of society looking down on the rubes. And, I've been talking about this shit all week too, trying not to look at people as the common people, trying not to look at them as, the meaner sort. Man, if I'm being honest though, fuck yeah, I'm right amidst the meaner sort. Uh, and it's just interesting. It's been a constant, it's built into the cake, I guess. I guess it's built into the motherfucking picture. Gentleman class, the people that are really talked about throughout history are the founders and the framers, but really it's just the American original aristocracy. There's not to my knowledge, there ain't too many stories of the average man, the farmers. Even reading that last one I just read, The Cause, I never realized what a massive divide there was between Washington's Continental Army and then the famous Minutemen, the militias. There's a big contrast there just in how they actually functioned. I never realized how much of a mess the country was. The real push to have a centralized nation, a centralized authority, the federal authority. The Federalists. Everyone talks about nationalism now. I'm a nationalist. I'm an American nationalist. Fair enough. Implied within that is the actual need to have a nation, a centralized, fucking cohesive point to it, which is contradictory to the American individualism and states' rights. And I never realized how massive of a tension that actually was. So I just think that shit's really fucking interesting, dude. You know, the aristocracy and being a gentleman. I bet you those old farmers and militiamen and average motherfuckers out there really disliked those gentlemen and their powdered wigs and fineries. Interesting, man. I think it's interesting anyway, but what do I know? My man He Mix is out here watching Gullah Gullah Island per my recommendation, which I don't recall recommending, but that's all right. Thanks for watching the chat, dude. Appreciate you being in here. I guess, and even that, right? The idea of social classes and social stratuses, strati, whatever, goes back to that identity thing. It goes back to that identity. The big part of what he was talking about in his book was that most people didn't seek social elevation. They didn't seek to rise above what they were born into, their birthright. Something he was Gordon Wood is the author. Something he was talking about was that within the upper classes, quote unquote, people were defined by who they were, whereas the common, the plebeians, the mob, the unruly, the unwashed, they were defined by what they did. I wonder how much of that's true today. Fucks me up sometimes when I start feeling like a bitch, you know, my bitch side, that bitch voice in me. It's like, man, I'm just fucking burger flipping retard, fucking blah, 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 blah. Then when I'm in a good mood, I'm like, nah, man, I'm a fucking full ass man. And that's a split, which I guess we all got to work through. I wonder what the psychic warfare of the time was. I wonder how, like, it's just such a whole, it's completely unfathomable, I think, to modern people, especially 15 years after the little black Saturn box, constant psychic fucking warfare we're indulging in, that we like indulging in, as a matter of fact. But it all goes back to the identity, I guess. Another thing that he's been talking about in this book, which I found striking, is that even within the monarchical, within the monarchy, monarchical, there you go. within the monarchical system, there's an element of what I guess would be considered virtual, like parenthood, patriarchy, like a virtuous patriarchy from the king to the subjects. And even when they're drafting the fucking what do you call it? The biggest document ever. In the drafting of the Declaration of Independence, they're framing King George as a child, as a king, and they're his children. He's the father. And he's like, "Yo, pops, we're just like we're doing what you want. You're being unjust. You're being unfair. Fuck this shit." And that's just something built into it. Like, I don't know. Libs online will be like, "Oh, how about Daddy Trump? Well, you don't trust Daddy Trump?" The libertarians online are like, "We don't need daddy government." So how much of that is an identity of like at some point, like how much of that is built into us? Just the ingrained uh top down relationship to it, dependent relationship on it. What's that actually like? These are just fucking questions, things that I'm thinking about. Not much of a discussion on this fine Wednesday morning, but that's why I like to read. It's pushing me into thinking different ways. Do I think about Donald Trump as my father? Oh, god damn it, I hope not. I sure hope not. But at what point is that like subconscious? I'm just a citizen. Hey man, I'm just a working man out here. I'm just an average guy. I'm just going along to get along, man. I pay my taxes. I show up to work. How deep does that go? Relationships are weird like that. They exist within us and our perception of it, but they're also objectively completely outside of us too. It's interesting. So, what the fuck do I know? Maybe that ties into what the manifestation people talk about, when you just affirm things, affirmations. I am. Some of the metaphysical people emphasizing the consciousness. I am. Virtuous patriarchal relationship, huh? Because I guess ultimately, fucking how much of that turns into like the counselor psychologist talk. Just got to heal your inner child. You just got to let your inner child play. You got to heal unresolved trauma wounds. Very interesting, man. There's too much shit out here too. There's too much shit that's constantly thrown around, and I'm guilty of indulging in too much of it. I'm always listening to something. I'm always reading something. I'm always thinking about something, and there's a tremendous point of diminishing returns on that, where it's just indulgent and unnecessary. And it's like, why don't you just fucking look at what's in front of you and focus on that? Which brings it almost back to full circle to stoicism. I think it's all important, though. I think it's all helpful. Even the unhelpful things, dude. Unhelpful things is just stress. It's just tensions. It's just different shit to kind of fucking push you along. But, what the fuck ever. What the fuck ever, dude. Is that all I got? I think that's pretty much all I got today. It's what I'm reading. What's going on out there? More bullshit. More Mika tweets from the president. That's all lame. Very gay. Very dumb. So I've got no faith in these fucking people. I should worry about what I'm reading, what I'm doing, worry about these weights I got to go lift, worry about the job I'm doing at work, worry about not being a triggered bitch, worry about fucking, doing good things, dude. You got to resist the subconscious infection of the mind. So, fucking A. That's all I got. Mediocre Wednesday, whack Wednesday, winging it Wednesday. That's all good. Anyone in the chat got anything? Jerome says there's a good book about Bunker Hill, too. Yeah, Bunker Hill's a fucking piece of legend. All this shit is like legendary, bro. It's like mythology. I was talking about that the other day. What's the role? What's our role in our respective mythologies? Because that is a fucking that's a huge driver for everybody. Wiener Wednesday. Thanks, EMP. That's a call to wrap it up, I guess. That's a call to wrap it up. Jerome said he just got done watching Birth of a Nation to really flex on him. I heard that movie's not even that good. But you like that shock value shit, though. I understand, brother. I want to know who He Mixed is. I don't think I know you. That's all right. Wait, I got an idea. You motherfuckers all think you're slick in the chat. But that's all good. That's all good, man. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna roll the fuck out of here. Go about my business. Shoulders Wednesday. Fucking send them reps out. Thanks for hanging out. BS with B. Hannas on YouTube at BS with B. Hannas. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, so on and so forth. Want some music? Listen to me sing and play guitar instead of fucking try to piece a conversation together. I welcome you to do so. NickyBehannas.com for some heavy blues metal. NickyBehannas.bandcamp.com. Nicky B. Hannas on all streaming services. Yeah, I'm out of here. Keep it real. One love. Peace.